Introducing NASM One, NASM's ultimate membership program. Unlock access to everything your fitness career needs to succeed. Unlimited CEUs, free courses, access to our premium app, and exclusive discounts, all for $35 a month. NASM One is best-in-class tools, cutting-edge certifications, confidence in your craft, and everything you do as a personal trainer made easy, so we can achieve our greatest goals together as one.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to our holiday edition of the Master Instructor Roundtable with myself, Wendy Batts, and friend and colleague, Mr. Marty Miller. Marty, how are you?
I was good until I showed up and realized I'm not even close to dressed appropriately for this Master Instructor Roundtable.
I have a very obnoxious reindeer on, if anyone wants to see it. It's like an ugly sweater shirt, but you can only see half of it with an antler. And so our producer asked, like, did you wear that last year? I'm like, no, I have more than one crazy, weird reindeer shirt. So this is not on our topic for the day, but I'm telling you, there are a lot of really cute shirts out there, especially if you're into the holiday spirit. And that's what we're talking about today is the holiday gifts of 2023. We can talk about so many different things, but Marty, I get emails about this every year, and I sit there and rack my own brain about what am I going to get my clients? What do I want to get my husband? We're all in the same field, and it just sometimes gets a little overwhelming. So hopefully today we can talk about some different ideas or give you some different ideas of things that you can consider getting for yourself, your loved ones, or even your clients.
Yeah, I mean, I think we have a reputation to uphold as fitness professionals within our families and friends and network that why not, kind of use that and give them something that's thoughtful. And they're like, oh my God, that makes total sense.
And I do want to start out by saying, if you are NASM certified, which we really hope you are, remember a lot of these different products that we're going to discuss can be found in your portal. So if you log in on NASM.org and you go under, pro discounts, you're going to be able to see some of our partners, because there are some that offer 20% off. There's some that offer a little bit more. There's some on clothing. There's a lot of the tools. So just be sure to check that out as well, because we wouldn't want you to pay full price unless you had to.
We're here to save money as well as add value. But so I put a lot of this together. Wendy and I, we obviously worked on this together, but this was one of the ones that I thought, for those people in your life that either are avid readers, or for those who were kind of maybe sitting on the fence of, I'd really like to work out, but I went through this book. I did the Audible version. I'm going to probably buy myself a hard copy because I like to take notes. This is one of the newer books I've seen out there by Dr. Peter Attia on the topic of longevity, science and art of longevity. It's called Outlive. It's already a #1 bestseller. It's phenomenal. It's written for people like us here that he goes a little deeper on the science, but you could hand it to anybody that has zero idea of the science, and they could follow it along. But, I cut and pasted this right from, the description of the book. It is, without a doubt, a groundbreaking manifesto on living better and longer that challenges the conventional medical thinking on aging and reveals a new approach to preventing chronic disease and extending long-term health from a visionary physician and leading longevity expert. So Wendy, you and I did, and we talked about this a little bit in there, as a podcast on health span versus lifespan, right? I was telling my kids the other day, I'm going to live about 100, and the first 99 years and 11 months are going to be great. And then all of a sudden one day it's just a catastrophic decline. That's really the goal of being healthy. You want to be healthy, then gone. You don't want to be healthy and living as you are, getting weaker and dealing with more diseases. So this book covers great research and gives you some simple things to do. And he's a big fan of the type of training we do here. I can talk about that. Loves single leg balance training. And, he understands stability and muscular endurance. So he may be working with a NASM personal trainer, taking some of it himself.
That's awesome. I have not personally read this, but when I saw it, I'm like, all right, let's make a note. Maybe then we'll have it on our book club. You can go into more detail about it, Marty. So now this one I can talk a lot about, recovery tools. If you guys know Marty and myself, we are huge advocates on recovery, and we are partnered with Therabody. We're also partnered with Hyperice, and so you will find those in your portal. But guys, recovery tools. There are so many different types of recovery out there. Marty and I have talked about this before on looking at active recovery and the importance of active recovery, which includes foam rolling. It includes stretching. It includes even going for a walk or doing yoga, things to get your body and your mind right. Well, some of these recovery tools, it doesn't have to be the different types of percussion devices, but they do make like spheres that are like mini, and they make some that are medium size. They, that's more for Hyperice has those, and I think so does Therabody. But your price point is something that you need to determine ahead of time. But there are so many different things out there now that can help your face. Like you see the goggles right there on the bottom right. You put those on and there's vibration and there's heat and there's different things to help that. You'll see in the upper right-hand corner, they have this, it's basically like almost like a cleanser type. I don't want to call it like a handheld vibration.
It does a ton of things. It does like electrical stimulation for collagen. It has a red light therapy, blue light therapy, hot, cold, the scrubber. That thing is relaxing.
It is. Yeah, it's awesome. And then of course, recovery boots, more and more of us or that's something that we're more familiar with, where you put the big boots on and it actually does compression. So you've got to think, what is your client? What do they do? What is it that your family member does? What is going to help them? But a lot of this stuff will help increase circulation, increase blood flow. It's going to help you restore proper range of motion, depending on if you're doing some type of foam roller that's available. So if you don't have any of those types of tools, check them out, because especially if there's the vibration component, because there's shows that they don't have to foam roll as long. So the ones that say I don't have the time, that might be a good thing for you. Now, some of them can be pricey, but these are just some options. I know Trigger Point, they have some that don't vibrate, that last forever. Just something to consider.
Yeah, these are the gifts that generally make somebody's day when they get them on the holidays, because you just feel better instantly.
Yes. And then Marty, the one on the left.
Yes, that is the new, I want to say they call it the therm. I think it's the therm. So it goes from hot to cold. It's contrast. So you can put it on like your elbow or, any part of your body that, needs that either the heat or ice, either one, or it has a setting where it contrasts back and forth. And, you and I talk about contrast training. You gave some great examples, before. So this is, you can do it on the go, and you don't have ice stripping. You don't need a refrigerator. You don't need something to put like a hydroculator pad in back in the day. Remember those type of things?
Oh yes. That's so gross when you think about it. Now, when I go back, I'm like, you put it on some sweaty person, then dip it back in the water.
Hopefully there was towels and stuff, but
there was, but still it's gross.
So now it's all portable and you just charge it up.
That's right. You can have your own
recovery therm. That's what they call it.
There you go. Recovery tools, guys, super important. But the gift that everyone loves are gift cards. And, of course, when we think about fitness, I think it's important to think about, what does your person need that they're not giving to themselves? And what I mean by that is most people have memberships, but if not, maybe offer to pay for the first 3 months, and you get them a first 3-month gift card. Especially right now, there's a lot of different gyms out there that have some promotions going on. I think one of the things that people don't do, and I don't know why, is give personal training. You give them a gift, pay for 1 month of personal training. We did this with my husband's mother, and it was something we knew she really needed, and it forced her to go because we paid for it. And we set up that personal trainer for her, and it's something that she really needed. And she was super, super grateful for that. Another one you're going to see is massage. Who does not like a massage? There's one person that I know that doesn't like to be touched, but I know for me personally, I love massages, and I don't buy them for myself. And I get them as gifts very often for my husband, because he knows that I won't take the time to go and spend the money on myself. I will do it for everyone else. So massages are great. different restaurants and food services. What do they like to eat? Maybe going in, and if they are not making healthy choices, maybe find good restaurants to give them a gift card, to get them maybe now experiencing something they didn't know about. Of course, there are different recovery centers. There's different stretch labs. There's one that has like cryo. There's a bunch of different centers out there that you can buy them a session for. Of course, yoga. Marty, you're a big yoga fan too, but maybe buying them a gift card for so many different yoga sessions. And then of course, fitness activities. I don't think we do this enough either, but getting them involved in something that they might like, but they would never pay for to experience, to hopefully now make that something that they want to become more of a hobby that they didn't know they even liked.
Yeah, the key thing is you're offering an experience, right? And that experience may become a lifelong hobby, passion, and something that makes them healthy. So I think that, it'd be a creative way to think outside the box a little bit. And those can be from all different types of price points, right? Sometimes, it could just be the simplest thing. They all of a sudden now you've changed their, activities and their passions and their hobbies just because of a simple gift card.
Gift that keeps on giving.
Right. So Wendy, I know that you use these. I'm very familiar with them. I love them. And this is on my Christmas list for me this year. So maybe if I'm good, Santa will bring them to me, but I'll let you jump in here a little bit on these and I'll pick up.
Yeah. So mobility sticks, guys, we have a partnership with Mobility Sticks. And if you go to NASM Performance on Instagram, we are doing a ton of different videos utilizing these sticks. And so I have actually given these as Christmas gifts to my clients that I've had for a long time, because again, it depends on how much money you want to spend. But we also did a podcast with them, Marty and I, where we had these guys on to talk about all the different things that you could do with them. It's not just mobility, but they talk about strength and of course, integrating balance and utilizing these where they do have some bend to them. It is super, super interesting to see how hard some of the things that you can start to integrate into your workout utilizing these sticks. So I know there was one particular client, I just started training the wife, but I had been training the husband for a very long time. He's an avid golfer, loves to do it. I gave him all 3 sticks and I delivered it to his house and had a big bow on it. And the wife called me and said, "What did you just bring into my house?" Because they're bright orange. I'm a huge Tennessee fan. She thought it was some sort of joke, but now they use them all the time and love them. And she's like, "I remember my first initial, like, what am I supposed to do with this?" But I'm telling you, if you are using them in the gym, you really want a good gift idea. Check out the webinar that we did with mobility or stick mobility. So, different sizes. If you don't want to buy all 3, that's an option. Again, we get a discount. In the upper right-hand corner, a stretch strap. I don't think sometimes we really give these enough or use these enough, but especially for our elderly clients or aging clients or people that struggle to do some of the stretches on their own because they can't get their leg up. I think that's a really good option and it's fairly inexpensive. And then just even a yoga mat, and a yoga mat, not to necessarily just do yoga, but just so they have a place that it's their mat, their own. You can get them in all different colors and it's easy to roll up and store. I think, sometimes just something as simple as that can make someone's day big time.
Yeah, flexibility is key. So, there's other things you could find, but just kind of think of that category when you go searching gift ideas. So wearables, I'm a big fan of my Apple Watch. It does keep me honest and helps me track a bunch of different things. I'm a data guy, so I like it. Some people can become obsessive with it. I get that, but it does keep me. And if we go back to even nutrition, I had to fly today, so I know my steps aren't where they need to be, even on my recovery day. So it just gives you that mindset to think about. So I love it. I know, Wendy, you have a Garmin. I think we both have had Fitbits. All this data and information, it's not going to go anywhere, right? There's only going to be more data, more things that talk to our devices, give us information. And I'm going to tell you long term, if we ever get to the point of that massive data, that's what's going to help us really be better at getting people to be healthier earlier on, because we'll be able to use artificial intelligence to say, hey, at this point in life, if you're not doing this, this, and this, but you need that data. So I feel weird without my Apple Watch at this point.
Yeah. And, like I do have a Garmin. I have an Apple Watch too. And yeah, which one do I wear? Right. So I think it depends on the day, but I love my Garmin. My Garmin is probably the one thing that I wear more than anything, but Oura rings. I have one of those. I like to track both of them because sometimes I want to see if one's more accurate than the other. Of course, there's the Whoop. There's so many different types of technology out there. And I think the one question that you have to think about is, what will that person wear and use? Because I have been given some tech to wear where I'm like, there's no way I'm wearing that because I don't like it and it doesn't look right. Or I don't like, some people don't like to wear watches because they don't like things on their wrist. Some people don't like to wear rings because they don't like things on their finger. They don't even wear a wedding band if they're married. So you have to make sure too that your gift is something that your person, whoever that person is, will wear, because if not, you're just throwing money away. But if you can get someone really more aware, like you said, Marty, of their data, it can be very life-changing.
Yeah, I think it all starts with something, start simple maybe, and then maybe get more expensive. But, nowadays, I think even an Apple Watch, there's so many other features they'll use on it that I think that they'd be okay with that. So, but I got them all for my boys one year and they loved them. So
Well, I was
I'm
going to
sorry.
say, today on the Master Instructor Roundtable, myself, Wendy Batts, and Marty Miller are talking about some holiday gift ideas for yourself, if you want to be that person, or some family members and even clients. So we're trying to give you some options in case you're struggling, because I was super on the struggle bus up until last week. And then we went through this and I'm like, I got it. I know exactly what I'm giving my clients. And then I ended up buying something completely different for my husband.
Right.
So they just bought a blender.
There you go. Well, I think this one's important because I think a lot of us try to limp through with an okay water bottle, an okay blender, or an okay shaker. But when you really do have a high quality one, you see the difference, whether it's, the seal actually works and you're drinking out of it, doesn't drip. It gives you some ideas like, oh, I should put my fruit in, blenders that are easy. Now you're going to make your smoothies and things like that. So I think this is a perfect time of year to invest, even for yourself, or maybe you put it on your wish list for something that's quality that you're going to use compared to something that you have one, but because it doesn't do what it's supposed to do, or because it's, inconvenient, you tend not to use it. So for me, I think that this is a perfect time of year to invest in any of these type of products.
And there's some really cool bottles out there too.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have, and they're fairly inexpensive. So if you do have someone that's a big shake person and they don't have to have it blended, I'm a blended kind of person personally, but if they can pour it in there and then just shake it up, they have obviously the shaker ball that's in there to help break it up, but they actually now have some that have a storage cup on top where you pour your protein powder or whatever in on top, and then you put whatever liquid it is. And then when you're ready to drink it, you pour it, you shake it, and you have it, versus you shake it, leave it in a locker for however long, and then you have to reshake it and drink it. It's one of those you can make right at that moment. So it helps separate them. And it's really, really good for people that are traveling in their car, because you usually can't do the liquid on the plane unless you get a bottle of water. So just some things to think about, that there are so many different options out there that, make great gifts.
And there's some that came out, and I didn't put it on here yet because I'd have to check into it, but there's some with UV lights, because I've heard that people don't clean their water bottles enough. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to continue to check into that. So the technology is even coming into things like your shaker bottles now, and water bottles.
Who knew? They definitely have it for your toothbrush. And I'm sure, Marty, you know about that one.
Of course. Now, this is one of my favorites because I don't mind participating in the cooking, but I have really found some good stuff on an air fryer where you get the texture, you get the crisp. I can go set something in there and walk away for 15, 20 minutes. It's not like a constant thing. So you can kind of combine some of the newer appliances with maybe some cookbooks. Sometimes there's cookbooks just on air fryers or whatever that product. Remember when the George Foreman came out, that was the big thing. But I would highly recommend looking at air fryers, especially if you like to meal prep. You can get a lot done in a short period of time. And then, if you're giving this to someone, don't forget maybe to throw a cookbook in there that matches from a healthy standpoint something that you're going to, give them from a product, because not everyone would naturally know more than one or two recipes with it. So I kind of blended these together, I guess, pun intended, from the last slide, because one product by themselves is okay, but when you put these together, it's even better.
Supplements, guys. This one's hard because I never know what type of supplement to give someone. So sometimes what I end up doing is going and getting them a gift card for supplements. And that is something that you can do. Again, we are partnered with .fit. So this is a .fit example. However, we do things with Legion. We do things with a lot of other types of companies that are out there. So you want to find the best product that's going to work for you. We do love .fit because it is something that is tested. We know the ingredients in there are legit. So therefore, especially if you're working with athletes, that's very important. However, multivitamins, calcium, omega-3s, those are things that your body needs. And I don't think a lot of times people are getting enough of some of the basic nutrition or things from their diet. So if you know that they're taking supplements and you find out which ones they are, maybe try to get them something that is more pure, something that you can feel comfortable with, and just replenish what they're already taking. I wouldn't tell you to go buy a bunch of supplements that they've never taken and give it to them and say, hey, try these. However, if you know that they're on a bunch of different things, maybe provide them with a backup.
Yeah, and this is something for my kids because I know what they need, and they will never buy them on their own. These are like the stocking stuffers. I get them their multivitamin. I get them their vitamin D. I know what kind of smoothies they like. So I get them, some protein powder, and they actually get a kick out of it because they know they're getting good stuff that they normally wouldn't spend the money on themselves. Mm-hmm. So, you can kind of make some fun with it too, especially if you are, as you said, when you know what they're taking, or you want to give them the nudge to start thinking about it.
And we do have a significant discount. I know Neil Spruce has done he used to own NASM, so he loves the NASM family a lot, and he's done well by us. So just log into your account and see what you can get and see if there's anything, even for yourself. I think sometimes we don't treat ourselves enough, but I just did a huge order myself, and I'm super grateful for it because I need it.
About to place an order myself. And then, working, right, Wendy, how many hours are we spending seated? I have a stand-up desk. So the picture on the right is a stand-up desk. So, I think that's key and important. Then you've got the ergonomic mouse and the ergonomic keyboard. All those things are critically important. Just because, again, the wear and tear on your body over the years, like, how many clients have you had that they spend time at a desk and like, I can't do that exercise, my wrist hurts, or let's prevent all that, right? Let's spend the time and the money to get our body as ergonomically correct as possible for those that are sitting at workstations all the time. And you could get more expensive with chairs and all of those type of things. So just some ideas, and people are like, man, I never thought about that from a holiday gift standpoint, from a wellness standpoint, that it could even be what's going on in their office.
Yep. And it's things that people won't buy themselves. So I know this isn't anything that I would want to go and personally purchase. However, if I got it as a gift, I would love it.
Now, this is one I love. I have one of these and I really, truly enjoy it. It's the Acupressure. This is exactly the one I have, a little different color, of course. But, when you look at the research, without a doubt, Acupressure, if you can do it, you got to check, there's a couple contraindications, but nothing crazy. Eases muscle tension and promotes relaxation. I can get in there and do my deep breathing and just kind of sink into it. Relieves chronic neck, back, and foot pain, chronic headaches, helps depression, anxiety, and stress, and then boosts your energy level. So this is something, now I'm just going to say, if you have little ones around or animals, flip it over, put it under the bed or something like that, because, those are, they're designed to give some pressure for a reason, but very low expensive product price. And I think it's phenomenal for just that, a little extra kind of recovery than when you want it.
And I had never heard of this until you put it on the slide, Marty. I learned something new every day. Didn't even know it was out there.
Foot health. Here we go. Right.
I know. So why are your feet important? Why? Because we stand on them, we use them, we move them. They propel us from one place to another. And, you want to think about this too. It is the foundation. It's what we use to balance on. And oftentimes when you have clients that have bunions, when you have, people are always complaining about foot pain. Marty and I did something on the importance of the good range of motion through the first MTP joint, which is your great toe or your big toe. It doesn't matter what you're doing, whether you're walking, running, sprinting, climbing, lifting, the feet need to be working and moving as intended. And so there are so many different things out there. I have toe spreaders because I don't want to have funky feet. I used to wear The big high heel shoes, I used to dress up. Now I don't. But the thing is unfortunately, especially in women's shoes, sometimes the toe boxes, they really do cramp your toes. And so over time, if you're not careful, you start losing the integrity of the bone structure as well as where your toes are supposed to be. And so toe shredders can cause a lot of relief by taking the stress off of the ligaments as well as the joints. And they're a phenomenal gift. One of our trainers gave toe spreaders to every one of her clients and forced them to wear them. And it's something that I got as a gift as well. And I love them. Love them because they're comfortable. They're made of gel. You can wear them in your shoes. You can wear them in your socks. You can wear them at home. It just depends. But then they also make different types of pressure balls that can help with the muscles on the bottom of your feet. Because, people talk about plantar fasciitis and they're talking about having issues in the tendons in the bottom of their foot. If someone pronates, those arches have become so weak, it's stressing out some of the muscles. So they have vibration balls. They have regular balls. There's a bunch of different things, but you should get good things for your feet.
I couldn't agree more. I do focus on this. I'm trying to spend even more time with it. That's where, again, the yoga even comes in because you're doing a lot barefoot. I did martial arts for years. And even that, you still need to work your feet more. So this could be a fun little thing that people are like, what? And then before you know it, they're seeing the improvements.
Yeah. Get some toe spreaders, get little balls and be like, hey, happy feet, happy life.
There you go. I like it.
Well, these are, of course, products we are not endorsed by, but some of the things that we are partnered with. So again, make sure you check out your trainer resource page to see if anything in there is something you want to consider getting yourself, your friends, family, or even clients. And hopefully Marty and I triggered some new ideas that maybe you hadn't thought about, especially the acupuncture mat. Didn't even know that was a thing. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this. I want to say happy holidays to all. I love this time of year. But if you have comments, questions, or just concerns about my shirt, you can email me at wendy.batts@nasm.org, or you can always find me on Instagram at wendy.batts13.
Yes. Thanks, Wendy, for that. And, hopefully, again, we made your shopping a little bit easier too, right? So you can hit me up, dr.martymiller72, email marty.miller@nasm.org. And if you're concerned that I didn't wear a shirt, let me know. And then I will put it in my calendar. And clearly, when we do next year's version, I will be participating in the festive clothing.
Oh, well, there you go.
All right. Well, Wendy, thanks so much. I know you're going to run around that house in that shirt forever. You love it. And I can totally understand with the little guy for Christmas. So that's awesome. So thank you all for joining us today on the Master Instructor Roundtable. And absolutely, we're hoping you're going to join us next week.